And Anna, you got my the offer?
Yes.
Okay. And I made it so that it's a size that you can maybe put it in an email or, whichever.
Yeah, I saw. Perfect.
Yeah, so. Hi, Monica. Thanks for joining us. And Marcela also. I think that's a new name. And everyone's coming in now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Anna, and I'm from Geeks Academy. Today, we'll be doing an event on how to take advantage of your LinkedIn account. We'll wait a couple more minutes. So we have a lot of registration, so we'll wait a couple more minutes for people to join. And then we'll begin the event. Just give them like a couple minutes.
Monica, I'm loving the piano in the background, and Missy, I love your books in the background.
Just so you know, we are live streaming the event via YouTube, so you'll be able to see it afterwards. You'll just have to go to Geeks Academy YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to see it. So you can pay attention, and you don't have to take notes. Just if you want to go through it again, you can just go to the YouTube channel.
That's great, because there's a lot of information that's going to be covered.
And if you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat, you're more than welcome to. Let us know where you're watching from and why you wanted to attend the event.
Don't all type at once. Boca Raton.
Nice.
Not too far from me. I'm in Miami.
We're in Miami.
I am in the, it's called El Portal, near Miami Shores. Are you familiar?
I used to go down to West Miami every Sunday morning for 3 years for my son's lessons and everything. So
Oh,
it's a bit of
okay.
a ride. 110 miles round trip every Sunday for 3 years. So.
That is a long ride. I actually used to do the opposite too. I used to go to the Boca Resort when I did some consulting work with them.
Very nice.
Yes. So I'm in the North Miami area, if that's easier for you too.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got Monica's in Miami too. Woo, Miami.
Yeah, North Miami Beach.
Oh, you're my neighbor. We're neighbors.
Yeah, born and raised.
Nice. I'm going to have to come play that piano. I don't play. Alkin is in South Carolina. Or Arkansas. Missy's in Arkansas, Carolina. Yeah. Nice. South Carolina. West Virginia, Jason. And Jay is watching from LA, California.
Nice.
Awesome.
You have a little bit from everywhere in the States. That's amazing. Seattle, I see. I'm in Boston, so we have a good turnout from everywhere.
And Seattle. Tyler in Seattle. Go Miami Heat, yes. See, I'm wearing the red for the Heat. Colombia.
Colombia, yeah.
Nice. Ah.
Okay, so I think we can get started. We'll just, if more people join afterwards, you'll be able to watch the event on YouTube, so you won't miss anything. Just a quick introduction. My name is Anna, and I'm from Geeks Academy. We are a coding bootcamp based in Miami. We have locations in Spain, Costa Rica, Venezuela, Chile, and we are we do coding boot camps based on full-time or part-time, and we do a lot of career support. And today I'm so proud to introduce you Vimari Roman. I contacted her because I saw her LinkedIn profile actually, and I thought that she will be a great speaker to let us know a little bit about how LinkedIn works and what we can do to make it better, since it's such a powerful networking tool. So without further ado, here I give you Vimari. You can go ahead and take over.
Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really proud of you because you've at this time, either your lunchtime or late morning, depending on your time zone, to really invest in yourself. And even if this is a free training, time is money. So you're basically investing this time into growing yourself. And I applaud you for that. Thank you so much for joining me. I do have a screen share, so you're not going to be able to see me, but I have a presentation that has some pictures of me, so you'll still see me. So let me share the screen now, and we'll get started. Now, before we get started, if you could please type in the chat what questions you already have, and maybe what you hope to learn today. I will try to cover as much as possible. I do have a training that I usually do is 2 hours. I'm trying to cram in as much as possible in an hour. And at the end, I'm going to try to leave you with some time for questions. Let's share my screen. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Okay, does everybody see my screen? Anna, can you see my screen? Excellent. Okay, welcome. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. Thanks for the brief introduction, Anna. My name is Vimari Roman. I'm based in Miami. I am a career strategist and a coach. I'm also recognized by LinkedIn as a LinkedIn career expert, which means that I'm a contractor and do some work for them. And so LinkedIn it's a platform that I've been using for a very long time, not only as a career coach, but prior to where I had a hospitality career for over 22 years in corporate America. And so I utilized the tool for networking and for keeping in touch with people. And when I became a coach, I decided to start utilizing the tool to get clients and to really continue to network. And so that, I guess, is what has made me the career expert. And what is branding? I want to talk about branding a little bit first. That way we understand what a career makeover what it really is, and you can actually link your profile with what branding is. So branding is the promotion of a particular product or company by means of advertising and distinctive design. The process of branding should be considered in global terms. What does that mean for you as a professional, you're probably asking, and what does it mean for LinkedIn? Well, let's take a look at two very distinct brands. We've got Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I picked these two brands because these are brands that everyone knows. These two brands are recognized because they have very distinct logos, distinct colors, and they even have different products. But each of them is recognized as the expert in those products, especially by the people that actually follow them. Some people love Coca-Cola, some people love Pepsi. It's rare that you will find someone who likes both of the products. And so with your professional branding, it's sort of the same. You want to identify yourself as the expert in whatever it is that you do. You want to brand yourself before others brand you. What is professional branding? Professional branding is your first impression. It's how you advance in your career. It's how people remember you. It's a brief statement that summarizes your unique strengths and how you differ from your competitors. It helps define who you are, what makes you great, and why someone should hire you. Whether you're an employee or you're someone that works for yourself, you're still looking to get hired by your client. So having a professional brand will help you identify yourself as the expert in that area. And you want to make sure that your brand communicates to your audience, whoever your audience is, your reputation and what your value is. So professional branding. We've got different areas for professional branding that come in. Some know the resume and cover letter. That's definitely part of professional branding. Recruiters spend an average of 6 seconds writing a resume. LinkedIn profiles, that's what we're going to be speaking about today. In this digital age, you must show up. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, then you need to get one today. Interview preparation. After you have a wonderful resume and cover letter and LinkedIn profile, you want to make sure that you are prepared for that interview, for that next step. That's part of your professional branding because that's how you're coming across. If you're a business owner, you want to have a website. If you're a solopreneur or creative, even if you are an employee, someone that works for a company, but you want to get known as an expert, you should protect your name, buy your domain, and have an online presence. Clearly, social media is part of your professional branding. People forget about social media and what it means to your professional branding, how you come across, what people see on your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook. That all has to do with professional branding. And blogging. If you're a business owner, creative, entrepreneur, even if you're an employee working somewhere, if you blog about your expertise, that's a great way to get known and to really stand apart from others. Today, we're going to focus on LinkedIn because that's what you're here for. And I'm going to teach you how to make over your profile. If you do have one, if you don't have one, you will learn how to create one that is strategic so that you can get hired. So while you learn today, we're going to learn how to implement practical strategies to use LinkedIn to stand out in a crowded job market. You're going to learn how to use LinkedIn as an effective and strategic networking tool. You're going to understand some of their features and how to leverage them to your advantage. You're going to learn how to properly build your profile or edit your current profile. And you're going to get some tips on keywords and other features that LinkedIn has that will be important for you based on your industry. So why LinkedIn? I want to give you a little background. LinkedIn is the top online social networking. And so this is where professionals come to network. It's the largest, I like to always say that it is the largest networking event, especially nowadays during the pandemic. This has been our tool for networking. Professionals go to LinkedIn to network, to connect, and also to job search. Companies use it for recruiting, for sharing company information, and to gain prospective employees. 95% of recruiters use LinkedIn to find top-notch candidates. Essentially, again, it is the world's largest networking event, yet most people have profiles that would be a horrible impression. Imagine going to a networking event and everyone's dressed up and you're in shorts and flip-flops. That's what your profile, because that's the impression that your profile can give if it's not completely made over. So about LinkedIn, the vision that LinkedIn has is to create an economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. Their mission is very simple, is to connect the world's professionals to make it more productive and successful. And the history of it is that it's actually been around for a very long time, yet it just all of a sudden there's a boom with it. The LinkedIn actually was founded by Reid Hoffman in his living room in 2002, and it was officially launched in May of 2003. In December 2016, which is probably why you saw the boom with LinkedIn, is because Microsoft completed its acquisition, and together really bringing this as the world's largest platform for professionals. In this present, then this is from LinkedIn, from their July 2020 updates. LinkedIn had 706 million users in more than 200 countries and territories worldwide. So essentially, your network, you have the ability to network throughout the world. I'm going to start with going over some of the recommendations that LinkedIn gives you for your profiles and why they're so important and my opinion on them. And so the number one recommendation is that you have a profile. It gives you 9 times more connections requests. A lot of people put this as private. You should not put anything on private on LinkedIn because you're there to network. So if your profile is private, I want you to turn it off immediately after this training and allow the public, allow everyone to see you so that you can start getting connections. The second that they talk about is the current position. So you want to make sure that you always update your LinkedIn. If you change jobs, this is extremely important. I have connections that I've seen anniversaries for companies that they're no longer there. You don't want to be that person. If you have a current position, you have 8 times more profile views than you would if you did not have a current position. Education. You want to make sure that you add education. LinkedIn tells you that 17 times more messages from recruiters if your education is all updated on there. It's also great for you to connect with classmates or alumni. Then we've got the industry that you work in. And sometimes people miss this because this is not a required field. I will show you where you can update that so that you can make sure that you're coming up in searches should someone search by an industry. They say, according to LinkedIn, it's 300,000 people search by industry on LinkedIn every week. Next is your location. Your location should be updated. That way you can also be found on searches. According to LinkedIn, you're 23 times more likely to be found on LinkedIn searches if your location is updated. Now you want to make sure that you look at this often because LinkedIn every so often updates the locations. Like for instance, now I think Miami used to be part of South Florida, and now they called it something else. I can't remember what it is, but it's just changed. So you want to make sure that you update this. Skills. LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to put at least 5 skills on your profile. You get to pin 3 of those skills to the top of your profile. That way you can get endorsements. This is extremely important. And it's important that you want to pin the skills that you want to be known for at the very top so that those skills are the ones that people are endorsing you for. Next, you have your summary. Most of the people miss this, and LinkedIn gives you enough characters there to really tell people about your background and what makes you an expert in what you do. So you should definitely utilize that. And lastly, you're in control. You're in control of what people see. Again, I recommend that your profile is not a private profile, that you allow it to be public. And you can control if you make changes to your profile. It used to be, if you're an old LinkedIn user, that in the past, if you changed jobs or you updated anything, people would be able to see that. You're in control now. So you can check, there's a little box there that you see where you can turn on if you want your connections to see your changes in your feed. If not, you can turn them off. And some finishing touches. I'm sorry, that was a repeat slide. I apologize about that. So the goal is to have your profile be an all-star profile. If you do not have an all-star profile, what you will see in your profile, when you go over to your profile, you will see that it'll have this little bar here, which will say intermediate, or it will give you a lower score. The idea is to have an all-star profile so that you are coming up in searches. Let's talk about the profile photo. Profile photos are extremely important. Profile photos are how you connect. Think about when you're walking into a networking event, same thing. This is what people see. And so you want to make sure that you have a headshot that shows 60% of your face in the frame, that you're looking at the camera, and that you have your natural expression. So if you're someone that smiles, make sure you're smiling in the picture. If you're someone that's serious but friendly, has that friendly look, just go ahead and make sure that whatever that photo is, it represents who you are and who you want to be. And if you are someone who does not wear a suit, there's no need for you to have a suit in that profile photo. Just make sure that you show up professional and that your natural light and your filters are correct so that people can really see you. You're clear. It's a bright photo. I put here three examples. Number one, not ideal. It's not ideal. Usually I'll ask you why, but because you're all on mute, I'm going to tell you why if you don't know why. Her hair is all over her face, so you really cannot see her face. It's taking away from the beautiful smile that she has. You want to make sure that your background is not a super busy background. In this case, this is a good, well-cropped picture where she's standing behind, in front of the ocean. And so this person works for a resort. So this is a photo that actually represents what she does. And then the middle one, it's a headshot. And you could tell it's a headshot, but it's a great headshot. He looks friendly. He doesn't have a huge smile, but he's connecting. If you look into his eyes, he's connecting with you. That's the whole idea behind the profile photo. Next is the cover photo and your headline. And so LinkedIn now, this was the old way that LinkedIn did not, it would show up if you didn't have it personalized. They have a new format now. I believe it's like a yellowish color or greenish color. I can't remember. You should personalize that, and you can. And so if you look at the bottom photo, Laura has it personalized. You can here put the name. If you have a company, you can put the name of your company. You can put anything that represents your industry or what you like. Personalize it. It really makes your profile stand out. Then we have your headline. The headline gives you 120 characters. LinkedIn will automatically populate the most current position, your title there. You want to, this is prime real estate. I always say that you want to personalize this. The top person here, Paola, has not personalized it. She left it as she's the director of sales and marketing at the Hyatt Zilara. Well, yes, that's great because that's what she does, but this is keyword friendly. And so if people are searching for, let's say, an operations director of sales and marketing, she will show up. But at the same time, if they're looking for someone who's a top producer or things like that, she will not show up. And you also want to describe, in this area, you want to describe what sets you apart from your competitors. Your title is not who you are. Your title does not set you apart from your competitors. In the second example, we've got Laura, who's optimized her keywords. She's an operations manager, so you still have a title there, but she's also telling you that she's a strategic leader and an expert problem solver. Here, Laura tells you a little bit about what makes her an expert as an operations manager. Next is your summary. LinkedIn gives you 2,000 characters for a reason. And so most of the people, they have either they don't utilize this section at all, so it's empty, or they have something very basic. In the first example, we have focused, goal-oriented, pleasant personality, professional team player, highly knowledgeable in different areas of human resources. That could be anyone. That's basically just throwing words there. In the second example, here, Laura explains a little bit more about who she is and what sets her apart. And so she says that she's as an operations professional. I have spent the 18 years strategically driving operational excellence while increasing productivity and profitability. I'm a proud United States Air Force veteran with a background as a surgical tech. And then she goes on to explain how she transitioned from being a U.S. Air Force veteran to what she's doing today. And then she describes herself as a leader. So as a thought leader, I have a remarkable record of implementing strategies that support key business objectives. I've also had much success in building high-performance teams and motivating individuals that enable growth and strategic implementation in a fun environment. This gives you an idea of who Laura is. Then she tells you about her success. And lastly, she leaves her phone number and her email address right there. So it's very easy for people to just, if they're interested to contact her, they can contact her right away. And so here, I always recommend that your contact information is there. Again, you're there to network. You want people to be able to contact you. And so why make them look for the information? Especially if you're looking for work, you want to make sure that your information is there. Then we've got the experience. And so LinkedIn gives you, for a job title, 100 characters. And then for the position description, they give you 2,000 characters. Now, LinkedIn's, they're owned by Microsoft. They've done their research. They're giving you 2,000 characters for a reason. Yet, most people do not use the 2,000 characters. And so most people's profiles look like this. They have their title, the company name, and then their dates. That's it. On the other hand, I recommend that this is the opportunity for you to tell them what sets you apart. And what sets you apart is your accomplishments, not your job description. It's what you have brought to the table. And so here, I recommend that it's going to look a little bit like your resume, where you explain at the very top what it is that you do. And then you go ahead and you quantify some of your major accomplishments, and you write those down and you put them as bullet points, because that's really what's going to set you apart. That's really what's going to make someone want to call you. They want to see what sets you apart, what sets you apart from the competitors, what you brought to the table, and what you contributed in that job. So you want to make sure that whatever you do, you keep it consistent for all of your positions. Education. With education, everyone's got different paths. And so depending on your education, again, you want to make sure that it's listed correctly. Here is an example of someone who perhaps graduated high school, but did not have a degree, and they do have a technology certification. And so in this case, this person puts in, they leave out their high school because that's not that important, and they just put in their certification. Here, the second example is someone who's got bachelor's degree along with some certifications. LinkedIn allows you, they actually have a section for certifications that's separate. I like to include certifications that are relevant, the ones that are really important for whatever it is that you're doing. For instance, for you guys that just finished studying for Geeks, whatever it is that you received, those credentials, that should, if it's a certification, you need to put it under your education, because that's important so that it shows up. If someone has various degrees, then they want to make sure that the degrees are there, and perhaps that person might put their certifications in the certifications area. So these are the three different options that you have for listing your education. Then we talked earlier about what LinkedIn says it's important to have. And I talked about the location as well as the industry. The location is the one that actually is not a required field, and they update consistently. When I actually put this together, these slides, it was still Miami, Florida. Now they changed it. So I definitely need to update this. But in your profiles, you want to make sure that your location is always updated. And then your industry. Your industry should be relevant to whatever it is that you're doing. So if you've transitioned your industry, if you, let's say that you were a medical assistant and now you're an IT professional, you want to make sure that, because this is not going to automatically change, you want to make sure that you manually change this to the IT profession. Next is your skills. We talked about this a little. These are the pin skills. So you want to make sure that the skills that you pin at the top are the relevant skills according to what you want to be known for, the skills that set you apart as an expert. In my case, and this is my profile, I put resume writing at the top because I do resume writing. I help with that. I put job coaching because that's also part of what I do. And leadership, because that is also part of what I do. I'm a high performance coach, and my certification is actually as a leadership coach. And so these are the top skills, because I want people to, when they endorse me, I want them to endorse me for those skills. Then we've got the recommendations. Most people do not ask for recommendations, and this is so important. It's important whether you're looking for work or it's important if you're looking for clients. You want people to see that other people think highly of you. You want them to see that whatever you're saying your expertise is, that people really do believe those are your expertise. And so ask your colleagues, ask friends, ask people that have worked with you to give you a recommendation. But also remember that sharing is giving, it needs to go both ways. Give those recommendations as well. So perhaps reach out to your friends first, give them a recommendation, and then ask for a recommendation. But this is extremely important. You will see, if you read people's recommendations, you will see that there is somewhat of a trend. There are going to be ways that people describe you that are very similar. And so recruiters, hiring managers, people that are looking to hire someone, they look for that. Think of the recommendations as a review on TripAdvisor. You're taking a trip and you're thinking about going to a hotel, you're probably going to check out the reviews before you decide to book it. And you're probably going to be looking for things that you see that come up that are consistent. And so that's really what people are doing with your LinkedIn profile as well. They'll look at your recommendations to see if there are consistencies. So if you're one of those people that doesn't have any recommendations, I recommend that you start asking for them. And if you're one of those people that has recommendations from 10, 12 years ago, then I recommend that you start asking for new ones as well. Okay, next we've got the vanity URL. A lot of people do not know that you can actually change your URL on LinkedIn. And you can do this by going to your profile and editing it. What LinkedIn does is that they normally populate your name, and then they'll put some really weird, odd numbers at the end. And so if you're telling someone to connect with you on LinkedIn, it's just longer. You're not going to memorize those numbers. It's easier if you are just letting them know it's my first and last name. In my case, Roman is actually my maiden name, and Darvala is my married name. But I left it as Vamari Roman because that's how I got known in what I do. I've been doing business as Vamari Roman for a very long time. If you have a very popular name, such as Jane Smith, for example, then you want to identify yourself differently. So you can leave Jane Smith. Maybe if you're a CPA, you can put CPA. If you're Jane Smith who works in IT, maybe you could put Jane Smith IT. Utilize something that will differentiate you. It could be Jane Smith Miami. That's another example. Then you want to also make sure that it is relevant. So don't use something that is completely not relevant to what you do. That's one thing that you want to make sure. So career interests. If you're looking for work, you want to make sure, if you're actively looking, that you turn this on. And you can turn this on without your network seeing it. Now LinkedIn has allowed for the network to see it, but they will give you a choice. And LinkedIn has this banner that says looking for work that will circle around your picture. Some people see that as a negative, and so it's personal preference. I think sometimes, especially nowadays where there's so many people that are looking for work, it's probably overdoing it, and you should focus on networking and utilizing your LinkedIn correctly, and then just leave it for your recruiters, but if you feel that that is helping you, then go ahead and keep it. Again, it's personal preference, but definitely turn this on if you are looking for work. Networking. So number one, you must have a completed profile. If you don't have a completed profile, chances are that people are not going to really be attracted to you and want to get to know you a little bit better. You want to upload your contacts from your phone list and connect with them. One of the things that I loved about LinkedIn is that I worked in the hospitality industry where there was a lot of turnover and people just constantly changed jobs. But if I was connected with them on LinkedIn, I am still connected with those people now today. Even if they went to work somewhere else, they changed industry, I'm still connected to them. And so it allows me to network with those people still today. If you send out a request for someone to connect with you, send a customized request, a personal note. Tell them why it is that you want to connect with them. If people are more quick to connect with you if they don't know you and you send them a personal note than to send someone, a complete stranger, a connection request without saying anything. Don't be that person. Be the person to tell them why it is that you want to connect with them, and then continue that conversation. I just saw, before I go into the groups, I just saw a post that someone posted on LinkedIn this week. He's like, I don't get it. People ask me to connect. Then when I try to engage in a conversation with them, they completely ignore me. I don't hear from them. Those are people that are collecting connections. And so if you see that there are people out there that are collecting connections, maybe you don't want to connect with them. And so you don't want to be that person that's seen as collecting connections. That's why you want to personalize it and you want to engage. After all, you're networking. Join groups. Groups can be anything that is of interest to you. It can be an association, an alumni, volunteer group. You want to lend a virtual hand, so share with others. If you find information that's really relevant to your career or your expertise or what you do, share that information. Right now, anytime that I see positions open, I share them. I'm sharing that because it's relevant to what I do. I'm not a recruiter, but I do help people get prepared and I help them strategize the next step of their careers. And so for this time, when I know so many people are not working or are looking to transition their careers, it's key if I'm sharing that information. Update your status regularly. What does this mean? That means that you just go on LinkedIn really quickly and you can post an article, you can ask a question, whatever it is, just so that you are seen relevant, you're there, you're seen in people's home screens, and people remember you. Request informational interviews. This is research. This is for someone who wants to transition their careers and it's not certain which direction to go. You can request an informational interview. Find an expert in that field. Find someone that's already doing the work that you want to do, and tell them that you would like to have a chat with them to ask them questions. That's what an informational interview is. You can do this for clients if you're doing research. There's so much that you can do with these requests of informational interviews, and it's a great way to connect and network with people. Ask a friend to introduce you. So LinkedIn has this great feature that will tell you whether or not you guys share a connection. If you see that you do share a connection, there's a reason why LinkedIn does that. Go ahead and ask for an introduction. Chances are that whomever you want to speak to will be more likely to connect with you if they're introduced to you by someone they know. LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to write articles, and this is a great way to really get known as the expert in whatever it is that you do, to show up in searches. This is just a great feature. It doesn't matter if you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, a job, someone looking for work, an employee somewhere. Writing articles is a great way to stand apart and network. And lastly, you want to share and comment on posts. So be friendly, comment, make sure that you read the post before you comment so that it's relevant. and share information. It's a great way to network. It's a great way for someone to, maybe thank you for sharing their post. There's so much value to that. And so remember, sharing is caring. When you ask for recommendations, give recommendations. When you share and comment on posts, people will do the same for you. Job market strategies. Some of you are here probably because this is really important for you right now. Number one, turn on your career interests. Make sure recruiters know that you're looking for work. Request recommendations, as I mentioned before. Some of this is going to be repetitive because it's very important. Request endorsements. And so if you're just got your 4 Geeks education and you want to be known for having those skills, send your friends a request and tell them to endorse you in those specific skills. Let them know, hey, I want you to endorse me in XYZ skills, and do the same for them. Set job alerts. LinkedIn allows you to automatically set these alerts. That way you're not having to be on LinkedIn 24/7. You will get these job alerts as soon as they're posted. Apply via LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn gives you, and they've done this for a little while now, where you can actually apply through LinkedIn for a job. I also recommend Indeed and Glassdoor. Those are the 2 websites that I recommend the most. And then you want to research recruiters that are in your industry and reach out to them directly. Reach out, and right now they're probably a little bit overwhelmed with this pandemic in 2020 and everything that's happening in the job market. But reach out and be different. Introduce yourself, ask a question, engage. People love giving information. And so try to engage with them versus just, here's my resume, I'm looking for work. That doesn't work. Network. Identify companies and reach out. So if you're looking for work, identify companies that really connect with who you are. Identify companies that their values connect with who you are. And then reach out to them. Even if they're not hiring, find out who the hiring person is, who the hiring manager is, and go ahead and send them a note. And send your resume with the note and say, introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself. And let them know that if an opening becomes available, you would love the opportunity. And so it shows them that you've really done your research, and you want to tell them that I've identified you as a company that I would love to work for. Network. If you're looking for work, you must do this. You have to tell a minimum of 5 people per day that you're looking for work. This works. That means family and friends. That means professional contacts. Loose connections, so people that you've probably met once or twice. And make sure you're telling them exactly what it is that you're looking for, so they know exactly how to recommend you or what to listen to. Find an in. So this is research the company, ask for an introduction if you find an in, someone that you may know. If you remember that Aunt Mary has a friend that works at Target and you want to work at Target, ask Aunt Mary to introduce you to that person. And then follow up. Don't just give up. Follow up and be persistent. It's very important that if you're in the job market, you're following up and that persistence is there. Improve your interview skills as part of your professional branding. And I'm going to just show you a few case studies of what this all can do for you. So this is Claudia Guzman. Claudia Guzman she's a client of mine. She was a market research and analytics expert who worked for her family business for over 19 years. When she came to me, she wanted to transition. She didn't want to work for her family business any longer. She wanted to work for a large corporation. And we strategized her resume, and then we strategized her LinkedIn. We made all the appropriate changes in December of 2019. And within 3 months, she was hired at Florida Blue. Florida Blue is a pretty large corporation, and it's a corporation that she had identified. And so this is what she received because updated her profile picture, got a great background photo, really describes her strengths in her tagline. And then her experience speaks to not only what she did, but also her major accomplishments, what set her apart. And she was also persistent, and she did all the right things. The next case study I want to show you is Vicky Janot. Vicky came to me. She was an office manager for some time. Then she had her children, and she was a stay-at-home mom for a little while. During that time, she realized that she was loving nutrition. She had a passion for it, and she decided to certify herself as a integrative nutrition coach. When she came to me, she had done some coaching on her own with family, mainly with friends and family, but she had very little experience. And what we did was that we completely rebranded her. And so we put on her cover photo that she's an integrative nutrition coach with her phone number and everything there. We utilized her tagline, certified integrative nutrition health coach, safe and healthy lifestyle educator, sustainable foods, weight management. And so we did everything. We did her resume. We did her LinkedIn. We had a strategy session on everything that she needed to do. And we put in some case studies of friends and family. We didn't need to put here that it was friends and family, but we put case studies of really what outcomes some of her clients had. And within just I think it was just a few weeks, it was under a month, she was hired by Weight Watchers, which is, by WW, which is formerly Weight Watchers. And that was actually a company that she had identified. And so she is a wellness guide for them. And I mean, this was a great success story. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to put it here, because she had been out of the job market for so long. So it's possible. It's so possible for all of you. And you too can have similar results. I'm here to offer you a special discount that's only available for 4 geeks, and you'll have it available from now until next Friday. So you have a week to think about this. You can get 25% off your LinkedIn or your resume, or 35% off either a one-on-one 2-hour LinkedIn makeover, which is really it's customized for you and what you want to learn, and I go over your entire profile with you, or any of my career strategy packages or high performance coaching packages. The one-on-one 2-hour LinkedIn training and makeover is usually $700. Today would be $455. Here you get a detailed training customized based on your needs, personalized tips, a LinkedIn profile makeover review, and a 15-minute debrief with you personally to go over your entire profile. And that's available to you today for $455. The packages that I have available are transition to the next step. This helps you transition to the next step of your career. You have 3 options to choose from. Career discovery, if you're not sure about which way to go, that's a strategy session, a 2-hour coaching, or maybe post after, or a 2-hour interview prep, plus your professional branding tools. And that is normally $1947. For you today is $1265. Lastly is to get your dream job package, normally $21.97. Today for you will be $14.28. And that package includes the 2-hour career strategy, your professional branding tools, your interview preparation. You'll be ready to go. And you can add additional coaching sessions at a discounted price. I'm going to leave you with this before we take some questions. Your brand is what others say about you when you are not in the room. Jeff Bezos, Amazon. And that's exactly what you're doing with your LinkedIn. You're controlling what others say about you when you're not in the room by having your LinkedIn optimized with all of your expertise and your accomplishments, and you have it current. Here's my contact information before I take some questions. I'm available via all social media channels. So I've got my Instagram or Facebook at Be Productive Coaching, Twitter at Be Productive MIA, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn at Vamari Roman, or go to my website at Be Productive Coaching. I do offer a free consultation. And if you go to my contact page, you can schedule a time on my calendar for a time that works conveniently for you. I'm now going to take it off screen share. Let me see if I can figure this out so that I can take some questions. Yes. Okay, so if you're currently freelancing, you definitely want to say, call yourself a freelancer and make sure that it is very specific what your expertise is. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, Vimari Roman, you will see what I have in my about. You can actually do something very similar. So if you're freelancing, you want to tell them what it is that you do, what your expertise is, who you serve, so who your ideal client is, and how you serve them, and then how to contact you. Hope that answers your question. So my question to you is your LinkedIn optimized with everything that we went over today? Okay, so update them and then tell me, email me after and let me know how it works. But no, definitely make sure that you're, so don't just leave your profile there. You know, if you're looking for work, the networking is so important, and not being afraid. Remove your ego, throw your ego out the window. Tell people you're looking for work, tell them exactly what you're looking for and what your expertise is. And that should help you. So everyone's an expert, regardless whether you're a junior and just getting started. We all have natural talents. And so those talents come we're born with them. And so what I recommend is, if you don't know what those natural talents are, take the Strengths Finder, the Gallup Strengths Finder. It's a great assessment that will, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a great assessment that will give you your top 5 strengths. And from there, you can build upon that. Really ask yourself some questions. Actually, go to my website at beproductivecoaching.com. You can sign up to receive my, it's a free guide, and it's a bunch of questions that will help you start to really think about what are some of your expertise, and really connect that with your strengths. And that's really what you're going to sell. Next. Any other questions? No? I guess I did a good job. Well, I guess, since we have a couple minutes, why don't you type in the chat or come and unmute yourselves and let me know what was your biggest takeaway today, or eye opener. Okay. Good. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Well, now you know exactly what you need to do. Rewatch this, and get the information from there. If I can help you, I'm happy to help you, Leonard. That's a great question. So so there's two strategies for that. You can either put the location where you want to relocate to, if there's a specific location, or if you're in between places, put wherever you spend the most time. And the other strategy would be to, in your about, go ahead and write in your summary there, willing to relocate, open to relocate. And if it's anywhere, then just put anywhere in the US or, the world. Just be specific as to where you're willing to relocate. We have 5 more minutes.
Yeah, could you put your website, or wait, there it is.
Anna put it in the chat.
I just saw it.
Yep, awesome.
Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome. Trisha, let me know if you can hear me now. I think she was having a little bit of issues. Okay,
Yes, there's a recording. I think, Anna, you said in YouTube?
Yes, you guys can go ahead and find our YouTube channel is for Geeks Academy, and there you will find the event. It's gonna be the whole event. It's live streamed, so you'll be able to see the whole thing.
Excellent. And for those of you that feel like, oh my God, this is overwhelming, this is not my expertise, how to speak about myself, how to articulate what my expertise is, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I do offer a free consultation. It's 30 minutes. And then if you decide that you need assistance, that 2-hour training that's one-on-one, it's a great value because I will teach you exactly how to utilize LinkedIn. I will teach you how to update it. A lot of the times I work with my clients and I update their website, their LinkedIns, but they don't necessarily get that training. And so they're having to come to me each time that they want to update it. And that comes at a cost. So for you, that training is amazing because I work one-on-one with you. I give you feedback after you update it yourself, and you really get to know how to really express and articulate your expertise as well as your major accomplishments.
Perfect. So
Excellent.
I think we're good. Nobody has any more questions.
It's almost 12 o'clock. So thank you.